What is going on, people of the internet? Hyperchaotic here with a K, double R, and welcome back or welcome if this is your first time visiting my channel. Now, when I was a young boy, I remember hearing about a moral panic that happened over the game Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. And anybody familiar with that game and the controversy at the time, you already know why. It had to do with the mission No Russian. Now, before you say anything, yes, this video is about GTA. I will get to that in a sec. You'll see why I'm going over the Call of Duty controversy. Now, at the time, there was a big controversy over it because you were playing as a terrorist shooting at innocent civilians. Which, mind you, shooting at the civilians was actually completely optional in that mission, in case a lot of you people out there didn't know. Like, yeah, it allows you to pull the trigger and shoot and kill innocent people in that airport. But you can literally go through that whole mission without ever shooting a single bullet whatsoever. And the outcome would still pretty much be the same. Mainly because the whole game is scripted as hell. But nonetheless, you can actually go through the whole mission without shooting a single bullet, and I think you can even get an achievement for it, if my memory is correct. If it's not, let me know in the comment section down below. And at the time when this mission was made big in the headlines, it started to get a lot of people talking about immoral acts that could be committed in video games. Not even just in Call of Duty, but in GTA as well. Now, for as long as GTA has been a franchise, it has had controversy. It has had people questioning whether or not video games is a direct cause or a direct contributor of real life violence. One of the very reasons why people got upset over that Call of Duty mission. Whether or not it would contribute to real life violence, getting people to commence in an actual horrific act. But of course, I probably don't have to explain to you the amount of times I've mowed down, you've mowed down, anybody has ever mowed down those innocent civilians don't mean shit, because they're in a world that can be restarted at any point in time by you just starting the campaign all over again, and those people are alive. Only to die again, and then you replay the game, and they're alive. Only to die again, then you replay the game, and the cycle starts all over again. They're fictional computer programming that don't truly die, because that's just a current state of the game when you're in that mission. The NPCs go through their death, they despawn eventually when the mission is over. The bodies stay there, but they eventually despawn when the mission is over. And if you ever replay it again, what happens? They come back to life to die again, which is pretty much what happens to any NPC that gets shot at, ally or enemy. Pretty much the same can be said about any freaking game with enemies that you fight. NPCs cannot truly die. They are generated people that can come back to life and be duplicated at any point in time in the game, which in the case of games like GTA happens a lot. You can see the exact same NPC over and over and over again within the next block over, just driving or walking around within that world. Those NPCs don't really truly ever die. They're always going to live on through their freaking replicated counterparts or whatever. It's computers, it's zeros and ones. Nothing truly happens to those fictional people, any more than anything actually happens to a fictional character in a movie or a TV show when they die. Sure, if they die off in that show or movie, they may die off for good, but the person who played that character, they're fine, they're alive. Well, depending on the actor you're speaking of, but for the most part, whatever happened in that show, that movie, that didn't actually happen to them. They're still alive. Their character's dead, but, you know, last time I checked, nobody makes a fucking freak over a character dying in a movie or a TV show, wondering whether or not that contributes to real life violence. But whenever it comes to video games in general, there's always that discussion right around the corner, especially when it does something, well, either it does something new or it does something it hasn't done in a while. And in the case of GTA, with the new GTA 6 coming out soon, by soon I mean 2024 or 2025 if they end up pushing it back. But there's been a recent freak out on Twitter over a feature that us GTA players haven't seen since GTA 4. And once again, I want to repeat that. This is a feature in the game that hasn't been featured since GTA 4. It's literally been in one of the games before, and people on Twitter are freaking out about it just because something you were able to do in a previous game will soon be able to be done again in a later release in the franchise. Something that was completely skipped over in GTA 5. Not that it matters, because you were able to do more, if we're still looking at it in a moral lens, you were able to do more horrendous shit in that game beyond this one feature that you haven't seen in GTA 4. Now you may be thinking, well, Chaotic, what is this special feature that we haven't seen in GTA 4? Open hospitals. A hospital building that you can actually enter and has NPCs within them, as in patient NPCs and nurse and doctor NPCs. Now you may be thinking like, okay, that's it? Well, what the fuck is so special about that? Well, besides the fact we literally did not get an open hospital like that in GTA 5. Literally, we did not get that feature at all in GTA 5. Yes, you get to drive through that one hospital in that one mission, but afterwards, you can never enter it again unless you commence in a glitch. Whereas the hospital in GTA 4, it was just one hospital or two hospitals, I can't remember. There was multiple hospitals within the game, but only one of them could really be entered. But in GTA 4, you were able to re-enter that hospital or just go to that hospital entry. And if you wanted to, just start fucking shooting up the patients. Why? Because you're a sadistic bastard in that game. Who isn't? Who doesn't fulfill their sadistic ass fantasies when they play GTA? Now, apparently this feature is going to be brought back in GTA 6. People are really hoping that more buildings can be entered in GTA 6, but just this being brought back into GTA 6 at all, when it wasn't even featured in GTA 5, I welcome it. But a lot of people got annoyed. Why? Because, why are you shooting innocent civilians in a hospital? What's wrong with you? You gotta be a psychopath to want to shoot and hurt innocent people. It's a video game. A franchise, nonetheless, called Grand Theft Auto, where the main goal of the game is being a crime simulator. Quote unquote crime simulator. It's not really a simulator in the normal sense that most people would know a game simulator as, but I mean, for the most part, as far as I know, it's the closest we got in the world as far as a crime, quote unquote crime simulator goes. But yeah, in a game called Grand Theft Auto, a game franchise literally named after a fucking felony, in a game full of gang crime, murder, sometimes in some cases literally fucking stealing from the fucking military. What would that be, like espionage? I don't even know what crime that would be, honestly. But you do some pretty crazy, outrageous shit. But the one thing people are bothered by is the fact that you can shoot up a hospital in GTA 6. Which was literally something you can already do in Part 4. And nobody gave a fuck then. I mean, yeah, there was that moral panic around video games then, as I brought up the Call of Duty No Russian mission. And at the time, GTA 4 was brought up as well. But it was just brought up for your typical gang crime violence, gun violence, being able to hire a hooker and then kill her to get your money back type shit. They never really gave a fuck about the fact that you can literally enter a hospital and shoot at the fucking patients. Which is honestly crazy to think. Even back then, during the video game moral panic, when people were freaking out over No Russian and still bringing up GTA, nobody gave a fuck back then. Not even the news media gave a fuck that you can go inside the hospital and shoot up the patients, doctors, and nurses. Nobody cared. Nobody batted an eye. But now that we're bringing it back into GTA 6, people are losing their minds. And ladies and gentlemen, this is GTA we're speaking of. The game where you can literally commit in full-blown domestic fucking terrorism. Which, by the way, chances are you're seeing it in the background gameplay right now if I decided to play GTA 5 for the background gameplay of this video. You can literally just pull out your fucking weapon and just commence in a mass shooting. You can grab the first fucking vehicle you see, find a street, a sidewalk full of fucking people, and be like, okay, every person I hit is 10 points. That's 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 50. It's just start fucking racking up points and shit for every fucking innocent civilian you hit. Obviously, there's no actual point counter. That would just all be in your head, just something you make up. But, like, people are worried about the fact that you can shoot up a hospital in GTA 6. A feature that was already in GTA 4 that not even the news media gave a fuck about when making the whole moral panic about video games back then. In a franchise where you can literally commit domestic terrorism. And people have done that before plenty of fucking times playing GTA. Of course, they're not going to call that gameplay run that. They're not going to call it a domestic terrorism run. They're probably going to call it a chaos run or some shit like that, where they're just going around shooting shit up and causing chaos and seeing how long they can survive. I'm pretty sure there's literally a YouTuber who used to do a series doing nothing but just that. His name is, what was his name? Somebody by the name of Expert Thief. I used to watch him when I was a teenager. I haven't seen his videos in a long time. I don't know if he's still uploading GTA videos. I just kind of grew out of his content. Shout out to Expert Thief if you was to ever see this. Cool on him if he still makes content. I just personally grew out of it. But he used to do a series all the time where he would just go around, shoot at shit, and cause chaos. Which, in real life, by the name of the actual crime, would just be domestic terrorism. Where you would literally slaughter hundreds, thousands of people. Like, I bet you if there was an actual counter for how many people I've ever killed in GTA since I first played the game, not that that counter would really matter because I don't have the original 360 I originally played GTA 5 on. So many people would have moved over with the newer consoles. But I'm willing to bet you, alright? I'm willing to bet you if most people had a counter for the amount of people they ever killed in a Grand Theft Auto game, ever, any of them, that shit would be in the hundreds of thousands, the millions. I'm betting people would have done slaughtered the whole population of the GTA cities 10 times over by now. All right, at this point, so many of us, like, if we were to literally see people who play violent video games as criminals, well then, motherfucker, I basically committed war crimes. I've committed genocide worse than the Holocaust. I'm willing to bet if we were to add every fucking video game character I've ever killed ever, just in a GTA game, never mind just in general. If you include stuff like Call of Duty, Payday, I don't know, maybe Minecraft. You want to add Minecraft to the fucking list. Battlefield. You know, if I'm morally in the wrong for every person I've ever killed in a video game ever, motherfucker, I'm worse than Hitler. I've literally committed a genocide worse than he ever did. If that's the logic we're gonna go by. Like, how fucking stupid does that sound? Oh, and did I forget to mention the one feature that is in every freaking GTA game ever, where you can actually go inside the police station and, I don't know, just start mass slaughtering piggies? You know, you know how many fucking cops I've racked up in my body count just from going into the police station, taking revenge from that one time they killed me in a fucking mission, or when they killed me because they fucking ran into me because they hit the tip of my bumper when I was following the law role-playing? Miss me with that shit, my guy. Please. Miss me with that shit. Oh, and apparently when people were making an uproar about it, there were some people being like, oh, I don't even kill the cops, or oh, I only kill the cops, I just don't kill the civilians. But you know what, my guy? That's you. If that's how you want to play your games, if that's how you want to play GTA, then you're allowed to do that. If that's your way of role-playing, where you're the criminal with a conscience, then that's all fine and dandy. You're allowed to play however the fuck you want to. as am I, as am anybody, as is anybody, I should say, out there is allowed to play a video game however the fuck they want, whether something is intended by the game or not. If they want to kill civilians or not kill the civilians, whether that's allowed or not, who fucking cares? I don't even know how these people would react to half of the mods in GTA or even Red Dead Redemption. Hell, there's in Red Dead Redemption the only GTA game to have a child NPC. Do you know how many videos I've seen people with a mod where they allow themselves to be able to kill that one kid NPC in Red Dead Redemption? Do you know how many people have killed little Jack just because, hey, there's a kid in this game? I want to fucking kill him.
I'll knock you straight back to the gutter. You're a sad little thing, ain't you? Whatever you do, don't follow in your pa's footsteps. Hi, Jack.
You're mean.
Let's try that again.
Do you know how many people are begging for schools in GTA 6? The second somebody sees a little ass kid walking down the street in GTA 6, somebody's gonna be like, fuck that kid. What? You already know somebody with a fucked up sense of humor is gonna try to do a school shooting in GTA 6 for sure. And if it turns out the only schools they have are college universities, like how Saints Row 2 did, well, I mean, they can still technically be considered a school shooting. Well, there you go. I just pointed out a completely different franchise very similar to GTA, Saints Row, which has a university, which you can enter, which you can go to, and literally just slaughter people. A game where you're literally allowed to commit a school shooting. They're just not little kids, but you are allowed to commit a school shooting in that game. And also commit domestic terrorism. Hell, I prefer that game even more as a domestic terrorism simulator, because when it comes to the trains in that game, not only can you stop them, you can actually destroy them. You can derail them bitches straight off the fucking track. Man, just talking about it, I really miss Saints Row now. I would love to play that game again. If I ever get the opportunity to, I'm going to play through the whole fucking franchise starting from part 1. And yes, going all the way even to that shitty reboot that everybody's been talking about. Deadass. I would play all the way from part 1 to the very last one produced that killed the fucking company. But yeah, we've been able to do the most egregious shit in video games since GTA and Saints Row. And even since before that. Mortal Kombat, anybody? But now we're freaking out over a hospital that you can enter and shoot up some patients just sitting in the waiting room. Like, motherfucker, we're doing them a favor. You know how long they're going to be sitting there waiting for somebody just to look at their fucking, the lump in the back of their throat? Like, please, stop it. Do something else with your life. Get a fucking hobby. Find something actually important to talk about on Twitter, to advocate for. Like, give me a fucking break. There's more important shit in this world to worry about. And we only have so many limited fucks to give in this life. Why would you waste it on stupid shit like this? Over a hospital that you can enter and shoot up when you've already been able to do way worse in GTA. And that's a feature that already existed in GTA 4. Which most of the people I've heard talking about this, nobody brings this up. We've already been able to do this in GTA 4, and nobody gave a fuck then, but now it's an issue now. In a game where you can already commit domestic terrorism. And me mentioning another game that was a parody of that game, where you can actually commit a school shooting. Just not against little kids, but it's technically a school. University, college is still technically a school. And you can actually commit a school shooting in that game. Now it's an issue. And there'll probably be some dumb fuck moron who sees this video and thinks, oh no, it was an issue then and it's an issue now. And if you've ever done that before, well then, you're an evil piece of shit. Well, like I said, by your logic and your moral standards when it comes to video games, I'm basically worse than Hitler. And frankly, I don't give a shit. And I think I'm gonna rack up some more bodies to my account as soon as I get off this fucking mic. Kiss my ass. And for the love of God, it's fucking fiction. It's fiction. Like, you know how much worse shit has happened in movies and TV shows just for the sake of art or a story? Oh, but it's because people have the freedom of choice to do so. That's the part that's the problem, right? Because people have the opportunity to shoot computer-generated NPCs that will literally be duplicated throughout the rest of the fucking game. Please do something else with your fucking time. Literally anything productive with your life. And I don't know about the rest of y'all, but I can't fucking wait for GTA 6. We've all been waiting for a very long time, and it's about time. 2023, what? We gotta wait one more, maybe 2 more years in case there's a pushback, which I want the game to come out a finished product and working right. So if they have to push it back just 1 more year, I'm okay with that. But it just fucking better come out before I turn 26 years old. I'm 24, going on to 25. It just better be out before I turn 26. But I'm willing to wait just for it to be a full finished product. Chaotic out. Have a good one.
Hello.
You're funny.